Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. It's nice being able to give allies extra turns or debuff enemies to take away their armor. But you know what? Sometimes you just want to pick up the biggest weapon you can find and wail away on enemies. Warrior is the perfect archetype for that playstyle, and we'll go over its mechanics in this video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more CRPG content. The characteristics for Warrior are weapon skill, strength, toughness, and agility. Obviously, weapon skill is going to be your main focus. Strength is nice, but keep in mind you could do a ton of damage with a minimal investment there, so it doesn't necessarily need to be your second focus. Toughness is a must if you are running a tank, but if someone else is fulfilling that role, you can put your points elsewhere. Agility is necessary if you aren't wearing heavier armor. If you are wearing heavy armor, it might make sense to ignore it completely, considering how much your dodge rating will be impacted. The skills for this class are Carouse, Athletics, Coercion, Demolition, and Metakai. Athletics is a ship post, so it's absolutely a critical skill to have covered. Demolition might make sense if you are putting points into agility. A few points into Metakai to unlock medikits is absolutely recommended, since it helps frontline fighters to be more self-sufficient. The keystone feature for Warrior is Charge, and it allows you to move into a straight line and launch a melee attack on a target. This attack must start from at least 2 cells away from your enemy, and it doesn't count towards the attack limit per turn. Absolutely, this is essential for a melee fighter. It helps a ton with your mobility and your action economy. Keep in mind, you do not have to attack an enemy at the end of the charge, so you can use it just to move several additional squares if that is helpful. At level 4, you get the ultimate ability, Daring Breach. This will immediately restore all your action and movement points, along with providing additional movement points equal to your agility bonus until the end of your turn. You do not lose movement points after performing attacks, and you have no limit on melee weapon attacks during this turn. Absolutely one of the best heroic acts in the game, especially after you get the proper upgrades. The Desperate Measures version prevents you from using Charge for the rest of the fight, and your movement points are reduced by 3. Obviously, this is a hefty penalty, so consider carefully before triggering this. At level 9, you start choosing 2 upgrades from a list of 4 options. Daring Breach will give you plus 10 movement points to the end of your turn, and you do not provoke attacks of opportunity. The extra MP is nice, but you don't care about attacks of opportunity since you'll most likely just kill whatever's in front of you. Skip this. Until the end of combat, you gain 4 MP for each kill and may use MP after attacking or using abilities. Absolutely pick this up. It's going to help ensure you can always reach enemies. For 1 round, you become the priority target for every enemy hit by your melee attacks, and you also get a 20% increase to parry, along with plus 2 deflection. Great upgrade for a tank-focused build, and it's the one I usually take. Melee attacks deal additional damage equal to half your strength bonus. I usually don't make large investments into strength, so this doesn't appeal to my playstyle, but it may work more for you than the tank-focused option. At level 3, you get the second feature of this archetype, Endure. This ability lasts until your next turn and reduces all incoming damage by your toughness bonus, along with providing temporary wounds equal to your toughness bonus. Another great ability for a frontline fighter to have. Starting at level 5, you could choose 2 abilities from a list of 5. Sworn Enemy marks a target and allows you to gain a percentage bonus to armor equal to 10 plus twice your toughness bonus. You also gain bonus damage equal to 2 plus your strength bonus on melee attacks against that opponent, and if they attack you during this round, you'll gain 1 action point. This is great to have if you are using a melee fighter who's a little squishy and you want to consistently give them more protection. Otherwise, I think there are better options. Reckless Strike allows your next attack to gain a percentage bonus increase to armor penetration equal to 5 times your strength bonus, and you deal additional damage equal to twice your strength bonus while ignoring a percentage amount of the opponent's parry equal to 3 times your weapon skill bonus. If the enemy survives the attack, they will attack you in turn. This is a great option for damage-oriented warriors who feel confident the enemy cannot break through their defenses. Forceful Strike causes your next melee attack to push enemies away a distance equal to 1 plus half your strength bonus. Enemies who are knocked into other foes or the environment will take additional damage that is sometimes quite substantial. If I am playing a tank, I skip this because I want to ensure enemies cannot go around me. If I am playing as a warrior who is only concerned about damage, I like picking this up because honestly, it's a ton of fun knocking enemies around. Taunting Scream forces enemies to pass a willpower test, and if they fail, you become a priority target. This is fantastic for a tank and helps to ensure you take the brunt of everything enemies want to throw at your group. Last on the list is Breakthrough, which allows you to gain the Slice ability with an amount of charges equal to half your agility bonus. Slice allows you to dash through an enemy and perform a melee attack against them, dealing 50% less damage. You cannot use it on the same enemy multiple times in the same round, and this doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity. Whether you are a tank or focused on damage, this is absolutely a must-have ability that will significantly increase your damage output. Starting at level 4, you will begin to choose talents. You can select 5 talents out of a list of 22. The first list of talents comes from your archetype, while there's a second list of general talents that all characters can choose. I would strongly recommend in this screen you strictly focus on archetype talents. You get 4 opportunities to choose talents only from the general list, and that's when you should select some of them. The first talent is Content, and it gives you additional damage equal to your toughness bonus when you attack an enemy who has just attacked you. This doesn't stack, but it can be reactivated repeatedly. Obviously, this is fantastic to have if you are playing as a tank. Enrage is triggered when you have less than 50% wounds and provides a percentage increase to critical hit chance equal to 5 plus your toughness and agility bonus combined. Personally, I don't like using talents that depend on you having low health, but this might fit your playstyle. Epicenter of Slaughter is triggered when you are attacked and gives you 1 stack of this effect until the end of combat. At the start of your turn, you'll gain 1 temporary wound for every stack, although these wounds cannot exceed your toughness bonus. If you are playing as a tank, this is fantastic, since you'll be rushing into the swarm of enemies, and they should all take turns hitting you. Also keep in mind that as you advance through the game, many enemies will hit more than once, causing this effect to stack even higher. If you are focused on damage and more so picking enemies off, then this isn't as useful. Desolation gives you additional damage equal to your agility bonus when enemies have no allies in adjacent cells. Well worth it for damage-focused warriors who also are heavily investing into agility. For tanks, you'll probably be surrounded most times, and this talent won't be quite as useful. Thick Skin gives you a +1 deflection, and your parry chance is increased by 25% of your total armor. If armor is your main defensive mechanic, this is a no-brainer. If you focus a lot more on dodge, then you could probably skip this. Open Engagement is triggered when you have no adjacent enemies at the start of your turn and increases the damage of your next melee attack by an amount equal to your strength bonus. If you are a tank, skip this, but if you are damage focused and picking off more solitary enemies, this might make sense. Impetus increases the damage dealt by charge when it's used from at least 5 cells away by an amount equal to your toughness and strength bonus combined. If you are steadily increasing both toughness and strength, then this is worth picking up. If not, while there are a lot of instances where you can trigger this, I don't think the bonus is worth a talent point. Living Shield causes enemies to suffer a 10% penalty to their hit chance with ranged attacks against you for every enemy in a 1-cell radius, and this debuff stacks up to 3 times. Definitely a nice option you should consider for your tank. Ramming Speed increases your charge distance by 3 cells. Mobility is king for warriors since you cannot attack if you are not within melee distance. I think both tanks and damage-oriented characters should strongly consider this talent. Defensive Maneuvers is triggered when you take damage and provides a percentage bonus to dodge equal to 5 plus twice your agility bonus. This stacks up to 3 times and resets after a successful dodge. This is fantastic for warriors who are wearing light or even medium armor and depend on dodge for defense. Warriors wearing heavy armor should probably skip this. Disarm is triggered when you use a single target ranged or melee attack and provides a percentage bonus to armor equal to 5 plus twice your toughness bonus against attacks made by the target for 1 round. Excellent protection against bosses, so your tank should definitely take this. Prepare for Pain provides an increase to deflection equal to your toughness bonus against the first attack made by every enemy in combat. Without question, any warrior who has put a decent amount of points into toughness should pick this up. Invigorating Hatred is triggered when you end your turn near a foe affected by sworn enemy and gives you temporary wounds equal to twice your toughness bonus. If you are a tank, you'll get a bunch of ways to generate temporary wounds and don't need this. If you are focused on damage, then you definitely won't use this. Hardened Scars is triggered when you are hit while under the Endure effect and increases your deflection by 1 until your next turn. Tanks can easily take half a dozen hits before their turn comes around, so this is definitely worth picking up for them. Interception is triggered when you parry an attack and cause the next warrior ability you use to cost 1 AP less. This is fantastic for warriors focused on damage since they will be steadily increasing weapon skill, which determines how often you parry. Tanks can still find alternative ways to increase parry, so it can be good for them as well if you picked up those options. Rigorous training causes charge and slice to not end your movement and then grant a percentage increase to dodge equal to 10 plus your agility bonus for 1 round after use. Fantastic option for damage-oriented warriors. Tanks may not benefit from the dodge increase, but this can still potentially be worth picking up. Crowd Kill causes area attacks to deal additional damage equal to 1 plus half your strength bonus. Definitely worth picking up for damage-oriented characters, but I would skip it for tanks because your strength probably won't be crazy high. Cautious Disengage causes attacks of opportunity to receive a percentage damage penalty equal to 10 plus 3 times your weapon skill bonus. Also, movement within range of attacks of opportunity costs 1 movement point less. As a warrior, you will most likely just concentrate on whoever is in front of you, so I would skip this. Defensive Stance is triggered when you have not attacked this turn and causes you to gain a percentage bonus to armor equal to 10 plus twice your toughness bonus. Charge and Slice do not affect this bonus, but I would still skip this because most likely you won't go a whole turn without attacking in some form. Opening Strike causes charge and push attacks to provide a percentage increase to the damage of range attacks against affected enemies by an amount equal to 5 plus your weapon skill bonus until the end of combat. If your party is mostly made up of ranged combatants, this might be useful, but otherwise, skip it. Blade Flurry causes each use of Slice to increase the damage dealt by Slice until the end of combat. Personally, I don't trigger Slice often enough in one fight for this to be worth it, so I skip it. Finally, Reckless Fury causes Reckless Strike to gain a percentage increase to critical hit chance equal to twice your weapon skill bonus. If you are using Reckless Strike quite a bit, then this is a no-brainer. That is all the information I have regarding warrior mechanics. If you have any questions or feedback about this video, please leave me a comment down below. Hope all of you enjoyed this video. Take care!